Next time, next week.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a short break for Josh and me. We didn't podcast last week, so we're trying to make up this week. So obviously Josh is with me today. No special guest, so hopefully we can get one next week. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. Look, we're in lockdown again in Melbourne, so
we always do this during the lockdown somehow.
I don't know why. But yeah, I think we'll get through it. Yeah, I always say I love this season, but like, I don't think anybody can say they hate it.
No, I'm loving it.
It's so good. I love it so much. Anyway,
okay, because we are doing two episodes in one go. So I do want to quickly start. We can just delve into episode 7 real quick on last episodes that we missed.
Yeah, so episode 7, to be honest, was probably the most boring episode out of the whole season. It's sort of half the reason why we didn't really go into it. Like, it wasn't like a necessity for us to like jump into a podcast right away. But essentially, it's just like the backlash from like the Onella water argument from like the previous tribal council and all that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty basic. Was there a reward challenge?
You're testing me because this is the last week.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think they do. Is it the one?
It's not the swimming.
No, they win the reward about the family thing. Like they got.
I thought they win that. I thought it was immunity and reward. Maybe it was immunity and reward.
I
could be getting
yeah, maybe. Anyway, I think it's a really classic sort of kind of old school Survivor when you're alone with another person. Obviously, you're gonna get picked off. There's no like obvious strategy. That's the correct strategy to go with.
Yeah,
which obviously impact the episode we're watching now. We watched like this week, so I think they make the right decisions. And I'm sorry, Kian has to go. Obviously, her edit got picked up that episode as well, so it's kind of obvious. And
yeah, like to be honest, she had a confessional at the first part of the episode. I'm like, oh, she's gone.
And then they highlight
purple edit.
And then they highlight the negative things, like she eating the pastries, one of them, and then she accidentally she threw the rice on the ground or something because the pot's too hot.
How long did she leave the pastries in her bag for? It must have been a while.
So maybe like 2 days.
Oh, okay. They would have been pretty stale.
Well, obviously, when you're hungry, I guess you can eat anything.
Yeah. To be honest, if it was stale bread and there was nothing, I'd choose stale bread.
But to be honest, that's not something you should do when eating in front of hungry people.
Take it somewhere else. Like, take it to the well. Quickly have it at the well and bring it back. And the fact she didn't offer it for anybody else was a bit of like a. I swear, this season we're getting Santoni's storyline of how her story's working. It's such a winner's edit, but at the same time, it's like not.
She's like pinging back and forth. Like there's things she does sometimes. I was like, and then she do something different. I don't know. She's giving like two different directions, and you're like, I don't know what she's thinking at the moment. We'll delve in a little bit more with what she said with this episode, but she was feeling a little bit on the outs last episode.
Yeah.
That made me think that she would flip in the merge, but she didn't. Obviously, that's the right move. So what do you think about Santoni in that position when he had a potential?
We're talking about episode 8 or episode
7? Last one. I mean, not last, the one we saw just like yesterday, the one last week, sorry.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, she knew it was her or Kian going home after Smash got sent to Immunity Island again. I didn't know that was a rule. I didn't know you could send them twice, but anyway. We found out now. Look, I think I'm surprised Santoni still made it through them tribal councils because like they know that she flip-flops, right? But they still chose to keep her over Kian when Kian could have been more loyal. But like Kian, to be honest, like they kept saying how like selfish she was and everything like that. Like we didn't really see it on the camera besides like the pastry type situation. But other than that, like we didn't really see it. But I guess they weren't trying to like make her look like a bad player either. They were just trying to make her look like she's going with the votes and stuff like that. They didn't want to give her a bad edit. I'm sort of disappointed that like nothing happened with her like the whole season.
It was because she was always in the out, so there's not much she can do. Like she can't. I mean, obviously, when you're in the outs, you potentially can do more. Like you can go crazy, but I don't think she was put in the position where like she has the opportunity to do it. I guess so. I mean, it's kind of sad that her edit sort of just being a selfish person. So, oh well.
Yeah, her picking the rice off the ground after she spilt it was like. It was weird. Like, why show us that? Like,
no, to show us that she's desperate, basically.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It's just showing that why they want to vote her off. I guess that's like hammering in like why she's going. But I just feel like
I guess they were like she might if we give her this edit, people might think, oh, she's actually trying to stay with the camp. So maybe Santoni might go and try to give like the favorite, like you said, Santoni's a favorite. It's no doubt about it, right? Trying to give like that type of edit to like think Santoni could be going. And I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. This episode confused. It didn't confuse me. I was just bored with it.
Yeah, I was bored. I was tuned out. But I feel like why do you cast a sort of so she's the only Asian character, like Asian player in this game, and then she get like the most purple edit, I guess. So for me, I was like, and then the only edit she gets is all the negative ones. So I was like, oh.
Well, I don't think they purposely decided to choose a person of color to be a purple edit. I just think it's how the game played out and like how in the winners, like because most seasons they edit how the winner's story is. Right, that's what they usually do, the winner's story. But South Africa is a bit different, right? But usually it's like the winner's story of how like they get to the end and like how they win and why they win, and that's usually the storyline that we get as a viewer. But yeah, like maybe because to be honest, Kian didn't have any storyline with the winner at all. Like there was no storyline with anybody left in the cast that Kian had a major role in. That's why she got a purple edit.
Well, I guess she should have gotten a little bit more in episode 1, but I'm just thinking like
Yeah, I do agree. In episode 1, she could have got more of an edit because she was one of the people that was on the chopping block, right? And maybe she could have got a little bit more of an edit throughout it. I understand.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like the strategy one, like just to like commenting, like
it could just be
that kind of stupid thing.
She could narrate half an episode. Like that type of thing, right? She could turn around and be like, like they talk about the challenge and that, and then she could be that person sometimes.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to be Santoni, as much as I love Santoni. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I do feel like she didn't play a role in any part of the game, really. Hence why her edit wasn't that good.
All right, is that for the last episode, or you want to talk about more?
Other than Anella getting like the tribal insurance.
Yeah.
Which was like a stealer vote. So he lost a vote and then he got a stealer vote. So he does have a vote back.
Can I just say he is the most sort of the weakest link in the in the player right now. Like he's the weakest one.
Yeah.
I was bored. You're not coming to play Survivor. Like anyone who's like, I don't want to work with other 6 people, that's like
that annoyed me so much.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing there?
I'm like, he's like, I don't want to work with you. It's just like, what?
Okay, can we also talk about the dynamics of the OG Zama? Sorry to jump in a little bit.
No, that's all right.
I hate it when they're all like, I want to do 6 strongs. Like they make it so obvious. Like 6. Yeah. I mean, obviously, for them it worked. Like, but you also have to like they have this thinking like, especially Nicole said that like, like Smash as well. They're like, we just vote the 6 out and then we can start playing the game after the 6. That's not how you play the game. You play the game like you play as a 12. You not play as a 6.
Yeah.
That just sort of annoys me, and I was so happy that the OG Runa actually win this sort of matchup. So like it's making more fluid.
Yeah. Actually, I enjoyed like the underdog story, even though it was a 6v6. Like they made it seem like an underdog story, which to be honest, it wasn't.
It sort of does because you have like Stan Tony, who she's a bit like I don't know where she's gonna go. So that's it. And then they have a stupid vote as well. So it would be 6-5 instead of 6-6. So
actually that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6-5 votes, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. With an idol on both sides and the immunity and okay. But technically, like out of the 6 people there was 3 people with immunity on the other tribe. On the
Well, we didn't know that. We didn't know that until
the end, of course. Yeah. Of course. Essentially, we get to the start of the episode and it's Water, which I'm surprised with. It's making me think Water's going home because we never really hear from her at all, right? And it's just her talking about Anella again, and how he's pissing her off and
his ego.
His ego. She needs to stop. Like, look, I always say, like, play strategic and stuff like that, but she always plays emotionally, and it's frustrating me in a bit. That she shouldn't be playing like that.
I mean, obviously, Smash was obvious about like not working with her, so I don't feel like the bridge is already burned, so there's no point she can do it. But I mean, I guess like you could say she's really like she's voiced it out the emotion, what she's feeling. Yeah. But I guess when you work, I mean, I guess in the hindsight of thing, you're living with that person for like 19, 20 days. Like you can't. I don't think you can hide that sort of frustration. Like, I mean, you should, but like, I understand what she. I mean, I'm not going to follow her on that, but
to be honest, she makes complete sense.
Yeah,
it's a scary thing. Like, I didn't expect this out of her, considering like 2 episodes ago, she's like, I'm going to vote out everyone who voted out Carla. I'm like, no. And then it's like something in her brain has clicked that she has to work with everyone. And it's just like, she's had like a mid-season epiphany where she's like, oh my gosh, I now have to work with everyone.
I was thinking maybe she saw Smash is doing the same with her, and then she's like, I don't want to be like that. That's why she keeps saying like, I work for anyone. I will work. I don't write anyone off. So I feel like that sort of clicked with her. Like, I don't want to be Smash because I was saying I'm doing the same thing as him.
Yeah, she's also probably trying to play smart, I guess. Like, I shouldn't use quotation marks. That's a bit rude. She's trying to play smart now too because she is in a majority as well, right? She's going into this like merge with like a good core 4, I guess, group where she feels like she could actually take it out instead of having to just play, I guess, for the cameras in the long run. Like, because like, to be honest, like say for example, you're on the bottom, you sort of, you're going, you sort of want to do everything to make it look like you want to go out with a bang. You just don't want to sit there like Kian did and do nothing, right? So I think in her mindset when she was going for like the Kara, like people who voted out Kara, she was just like, I'm going anyway. Let's try and go out with a bang, that type of thing. And then when she realized when the tribe swap happened and it saved her life, literally, she realized that maybe she does have a chance now, and then she has to start playing smart again. And I think that's what's coming on camera. I don't know. Like, I don't know the girl. I have no idea. She'll probably never watch this. But that's fine. Whatever. But I feel like that might be her storyline, where she's just like, I'm done with it, whatever. And then she gets like this burst of life, like mid-season, like thing. Like, she's like going through like a midlife crisis, but like she's like now bought the Ferrari, like she's bought like the happy piece. And now she's going through, and it's
I guess it's like the same. Like when you're in the boat, when you know you're going next, like you just kind of like go crazy a little bit. But then when you're like, oh shit, I have a chance, then you start playing the way you're supposed to play. I guess it's just normal.
Yeah, I guess. But like, why they edit like that. I'm so confused with South African editing. Like, I'm so confused. It feels like a fan-made game.
It does, and I especially
which is like great. I live for it.
There's a lot of conversations that I just got confused. Like it's like ping back and forth, like blah 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 blah. I mean, it's nice, but then I also feel like it can be like sort of cut down and more finesse, I guess.
Yeah.
There's all this stray conversation, and that actually doesn't add up to the episodes. Especially when Chappie like spying. I mean, I like the moment, but I think it's too many, and it doesn't impact the result.
No, it adds nothing at all. Like him having that spy check adds nothing at all, unless they use it in the future. But we've seen like in previous episodes, like the Santoni hating Nicole type situation, that hasn't eventuated into anything at all, right?
No,
so. The fact we're like getting all these like little snippets of like people doing stuff and it doesn't eventuate to anything, it's sort of pointless. It's like really unpointless editing. It's also the same with like the diplomatic immunity bracelet, right? Pointless. Absolutely pointless, right? Should have unedited it. Should have not had it in there. We wouldn't have known. Nothing would have happened, right? And then they could have used it for a further season. And yeah, it's sort of, I don't understand. Like, we've seen LRGs, right? Which is what our group is, live reality games, right? We see a lot of them have advantages and like different idols and stuff like that, but most of them are edited out because they haven't been used. So there's no point for them unless they build like an alliance, like around that item. That's the only reason you would have a point for it. But yeah.
But I also think they actually put a misleading edit because I remember seeing a lot. There's like next on Survivor. There's like Chappie saying like, "Oh, I will get out of this tribe if I need to," but then it doesn't go. I was like,
yeah.
So misleading.
It's like, but I love it though because you expect it, and then you the unexpected happens. Like that episode, I think after that episode there was a tribe swap. Like nobody's seen that coming. Like it was never announced. Like the only tribe swap that's ever been announced, I think, was Merge.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like every other tribe swap's just been like randomly happening in an episode, and it's good to see. But then as like a viewer, it's sort of frustrating because you sort of like want to think about, what's going to happen in the merge? Who could go like, what's going to happen with this tribe swap? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Instead, you've now got this story of like Chappie's pretend like. The edit they gave was like Chappie's potentially throwing the challenge and then sweeping over different tribes.
Yeah.
Like that's the edit you got, right? And so like everyone's thinking, Chappie's is gonna big brain this episode, and then nothing. It's just it's frustrating as a super fan. To be honest, I don't call myself a super fan. I know the season, but I don't remember them all. Like you ask me anything about early American seasons, no idea. But yeah, I just think. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. But yeah. Anyway, should we talk about the episode? Because that's what
we kind of are.
Yeah, we sort of are. Okay.
Yeah.
We get the merge. Okay, they get the merge pretty much.
We can talk about how Marisha found the idol, and then she get Rainier to come and get the idol, and then Rainier actually has it. I was like, why?
Just get it yourself. She got it down herself anyway.
Yeah, she had the whole pole, and then Rainier was just like playing up and just like sitting there.
She was too. I think Marisha isn't actually a big fan of Survivor and doesn't understand the aspects of it.
Yeah, and then I think she got so cocky. The edit was just her being cocky. She's like, I know, I'm happy you can come with us. We'll give you like extra few days, but we're gonna vote you off. Like that kind of vibe.
Her talking to Santoni at the merge feast, where she's like, you won't be going for about 4 votes. I'm just like, what the fuck? It was so hilarious. It was like me and drunk Viva. Anyway, it was hilarious. It was so good because I'm like, oh no, Marisha, what happened?
No, okay, Josh. Since you said the similar, this is sort of our inside thing, but can you just sort of walk us through why you said that? Because then we can see in Marisha's perspective.
Oh, of course, yeah. So we played. So Drunk Fiver is a game that us Australians play. Essentially,
our inner group.
Our inner group. our inner group, I guess, plays. So essentially, instead of Survivor, we have to like drink for challenges as like alcoholic-based challenges and stuff like that. So you get to the point of like, yeah. Anyway, everybody would understand if they've drank. Anyway, so we get to merge, and there's 7 versus 3. So our original tribe pretty much stays together the whole game up until merge. And then I go to the 3. I'm like, I don't need your vote. We've already got it sorted.
But why? That's fine.
Because I'm cocky. Because I'm drunk. I'm cocky. I'm thinking I've got this game in the bag because I've got a 4-person alliance within our 7 tribe. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, I've got this. I'm making Final 4 easy, right? And then the other 3 go join the other 3, and then a 6v4, and it's not the best time for me because I'm the first voted out at merge. Look, it's hilarious. I look
so
back
you were Marisha once.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
I was Marisha before Marisha was Marisha.
But like, Marisha didn't say I didn't need your vote. Marisha just said you'll be voted out in 4 tribals. So like, I think mine was more aggressive. Mine was like, no, we don't need you. But yeah, it was a good laugh. I look back at it and it's hilarious.
Anyway, so obviously that's a I don't know why Marisha did that, and then Rainier doesn't give the idol to Marisha as well, so he kept it.
Yeah, Rainier keeps it like a little shady snake. Look, I don't know, and the fact that Marisha didn't call him out on it was just like.
I guess it's like they have this like communal thing. Like obviously they share it with everyone. They share it with Sean even. Like I don't think what Sean was in your alliance, but they share it with Sean. And then the merge happens, and then Santoni just went and tell everyone Tyson has an idol. Can you explain why she does it? I don't know why she do it.
Okay, I feel like they've edited it differently. I feel like they may have had a talk, right? And Tyson's like, because you see Tyson in the future not be mad at Santoni because everyone knows about the idol, right? So I feel like Santoni's 007, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like Tyson said to Santoni to let people know about Tyson's idol.
Why?
Because then they're going to make the mistake of voting somebody like Chappies, who Tyson won't use the idol on. Right, instead of voting out like Water or Tyson, like one of the ones they probably wanted before Chappies, because Chappies really isn't a number for anyone, right? So I feel like that might be like the underlying story that we never got, because that makes a lot more sense than just Santoni randomly going around and talking, unless Santoni was just trying to get in on everyone, which I could see, because she's very shady. I can see that.
Because she had that confessional that she said, like, that's my idol, like sort of that kind of like I told him he got it because of me. So it's my sort of it's also sorry I just want to find a word. It's so it doesn't like it's also her idol, I guess, so she can share the information.
Yeah. So
she's like, I'm going to tell everyone.
Yeah. Well, technically, Tyson didn't tell her to tell anybody about it.
True.
Apparently, according to Santoni, right? I don't know. I think that the gameplay this episode by the old Vuna tribe is phenomenal, right? However, it's very predictable. They should have done something else to like make it completely unpredictable, like gave Chappies immunity or something. I don't know. Just like make it ridiculously like hard to actually understand. Like say for example, if they turn around and they give immunity to Chappies, then they know that Tyson has the idol. They're probably going to put votes on Water, and the same thing sort of happens. But it's less predictable. It's because that six goes in with one plan. We're all voting Chappies, and that's it. That's their plan, right? So if you like, say for example, if you then give that immunity idol, not the idol, like the island idol, to Chappies, and then they're just going to the vote, everyone has no idea who to vote for, and they could possibly get away without playing the idol.
No, I feel like I think that's kind of a little bit more chaos, and they probably can't play the idol correctly. So I think it's more beneficial for them to have them power on one person they already show off, so they can cancel all that vote. Because when like you said, everyone not sure what they're going to do, then you don't know where you want to play your idol. You can't assume they're going to split, obviously. No, they can't split. they all know they can't split. So I feel like
Yeah.
it's better to have like make sure they all like herd the sheep into one place. You want to herd them all together in straight line into that tract. So I think
the biggest downfall here is Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra is the biggest downfall here, right? Because he, number one, he says he can trust Anesu and Santoni, who, to be honest, he hasn't really played with Santoni at all. He just assumes that she's on the bottom of that tribe and is going to be the person voted out of the bottom. So he's like, she'll come over with us and become number 8 instead of number 6, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever in Survivor. You know, you want to be jumping up the numbers. You don't want to be like jumping down. So like the fact that he thinks Santoni's on their side is ridiculous. It's the same as Anella. So Anella, Smash, most horrible play of all time. You know, like seasons after seasons after seasons, do not steal the vote of the person you're voting out, and makes like what Sean said makes 100% sense. I think Sean's like a deep down Survivor fan. Anyway,
he is.
yeah, you can sort of see it. You can sort of tell. Anyway, so he gets to the point of telling Smash that you should play the steal a vote on Tyson, so Tyson gets a bit worried with his idol and plays it on himself instead. And Smash is like, no, I trust Anesu and Santoni. They're going to vote with us. And I'm just like, why? Why do you trust these people? Like, they've never been on the same team as you. Like, Anella and Smash and Santoni did work together for a little bit, only because Santoni wanted to get rid of some of the old tribe members that she wasn't working with that well, which makes sense. Don't get me wrong. Makes sense. But I don't understand that logic in, like, regardless. Like, play the steal a vote on the person who has the idol. It's going to make him paranoid. That just makes sense regardless of who you're voting out. Even if you're voting out that person with the idol, right? Or even if the person with the idol, you're voting out him, still play it on that guy, because that guy's still going to have, he's going to be more confused in his head of why they're now taking my vote. But they all knew he had the extra vote as well. So
no, actually, I thought that was the plan going in. That's why I was so surprised that in Smash's Stew Champions, I was like, what?
Yeah. It was, to be honest, this episode's like very confusing, but at the same time, like, they've said what's going to happen multiple times in the tribal council. Like, and it's hilarious when Marisha, after the challenge, says, "Bye, chappies." I laugh so hard.
I was like, that's a big foreshadow. Like, she's going.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about Sean and Anesu? They have a little chat. So that's a scene that got me confused as well. So they were sharing information with each other, but then I was like, but then I don't like. I think they want to play middle, but I don't think they're playing middle. I mean, Anesu is, but I'm not sure Sean is playing the middle.
I feel like Sean is the last person to be targeted out of that group. So I technically think he is sort of playing middle. Like, Sean isn't going before, like, Nicole's gone next for sure. It's either Nicole or Rhaenyra's gone next, right? One of them two is gone next. And then Anella is after them, right? And then you've got Amy, you've got Sean, and then we might lose them too. And then, to be honest, it doesn't surprise me if we have a Tyson Kieran final two.
True. But
that's the edit we're sort of getting at the moment. I hope for a Chappie Santoni, like, that would be like incredible. And to be honest, I have no idea who votes for who, because Santoni's a sneaky bitch and Chappie's doesn't have anybody that likes them. So
yeah, I think Chappie might be a go, to be honest. I can see him being go.
He hasn't done anything. He's just looking for idols. Yeah. To be honest, Santoni is carrying this game, Luki.
But can we sorry, I want to jump forward. Like, I want to mention, like, you saying Rhaenyra and Nicole gonna be going next. But for me, I would actually target Anella, because, like, if I am in sort of the Santoni, I want to target the person who, or not Santoni, maybe like a Water or something. Like, when you're in the bottom, you're not the top. You're in the bottom of the 6. You want to keep the person. You want to invoke other person you can work with. Because Anella basically saying, like, I'm not gonna work with the other 6. So, like, he should go. He's not gonna work with me anytime soon. So
yeah, but, like, if he's not gonna work with you, then, like, keep him around, because, like, say for example, if you're in a big alliance of 6 and this guy is not willing to work with you, at the 7, he's the easiest vote of all time.
Yeah, but, like, I want people to blindside some people in like in the
Oh
six.
yeah,
Right?
like I'm assuming a
Chappie
blindside is happening next episode. Like a blindside's definitely happening next episode.
Well, the six should stick together and involve at least one, so you have like the number advantage. Then you sort of flip. That's the time to flip because I feel like it's 5-5. Then you can come back to like the same place unless you build another connection.
Yeah, no, that actually makes sense.
Yeah,
no, but then you got 5-4. I think maybe if they get down to 3, if it's like at final 9, say if it's 6-3, then I feel like the flipping should happen then.
Yeah, you should flip. Like I mean, they if they still want to continue this OG thing, they should at least make sure it down to down to 4. So you have 6 versus 4.
Yeah.
Then they're never gonna have numbers to come back at you because now it's like if you blindside again, so it'd be like 5-5 again. So like unless the middle person want to form another alliance, then they can play that game. So it just really depends. Like there's no like straightforward sort of kind of. But I feel like the OG game is gonna stick quite some time. I feel like.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Actually, yeah, it makes sense to do it later. Yeah, it does.
What
I'm not in merge situations.
But I kind of like sort of heroes versus villains sort of sort of type of situation.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has that feel.
Yeah. But I still feel like the heroes that the poverty move was way better than I think this tribal is actually more like it's like a lot of more like sort of have to walk around thing. But I feel like the heroes versus villains tribal was edited better than this one. Like when Poverty was playing that 2 out, you're like, oh, but like this one, you're like, there's it's like sort of
because you weren't expecting Poverty to play 2 idols, right? You're expecting all these idols to be played and one played for Chappies. They could have edited this a lot better. They could have just had like the whole narrative of Chappies being the challenge beast. Oh, he loses a challenge, let's vote him out, and then like have that whole narrative, and then all of a sudden Tyson's like, no, I'm flipping this game, I'm taking control. And like then Tyson just makes this big ass power move, which would have been like maybe that makes me believe that like Tyson probably doesn't win or doesn't make the final because that's probably how they would have edited it to make it look like a Tyson power move.
Yeah, it's sort of it does kind of look like collective effort, to be honest. It's a collective effort from the 6 of them.
But who does the most work in this collective edit? And it's Santoni
and Nesu.
And an Esu.
Yeah. They're doing
and Esu is getting overshadowed by Santoni though, low key.
I don't feel like I think Ines is getting a lot of edit this episode. So I feel like for me, I'm obviously you're seeing a different perspective. I feel like Santoni for me was she obviously carrying the idol thing, which I don't get it, and then she's kind of been like for me a bit wishy-washy, but like Ines was basically playing, but she's like stick to the middle. She's like. She does thing with like there's a reason behind it. But with Santoni, sometimes I struggle like why she does that and like why does it benefit you? I guess in a way, but I also can see that maybe she wanted to build inroads, like she wanted to build connection. That's why they trust her because she told them they have an idol and stuff. So I mean, I guess Anesu or Santoni they're playing sort of the middle, but we do see Santoni actually voting with the OG Runa. Whereas and then we're actually voting for Chappies. So I guess one of the covers will be blown because the numbers doesn't add up. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, I think they knew that though. Like they actually said to Tyson and that they're going to vote.
Yeah.
With the old tribe, because we know what's going to happen is tribal. And to be honest, if I was Tyson and that, I'd be like, they're playing both sides. They're going to get something down the line. So I feel like Anesu doing that is going to be her hindrance in the future because she did vote for Chappies, where Santoni is like, nah, I'm going to vote.
But it's also like you also need someone in the middle, I guess. Like you always want someone in the middle.
Oh yeah, of course. But like then that person gets all the credit. That person gets all the credit in the long run.
But then you don't cover just yet. You want them doing it down the numbers. Then you cut them. Yeah. So I think
I don't know. To be honest, it's very hard to choose who wins here because like it's like other seasons have been very obvious, like who could win. But like this season is just like I have no idea. It's good. Like it's really good.
I think Kieran's a little bit underrated compared to all of them. Like in the six.
Kieran is. Yeah.
Kieran is actually under-edited. So
he's very dark horse, like in the background, going to like pounce at one stage and just win. Like I could see that. I could see Inasu winning as well. I could see Tyson winning. I can't see Water winning.
I can't see Water. I can't see
Renee winning. I could see Renee winning.
Huh? Sorry?
I could see Renee winning.
Who?
Renee?
Okay. No, I don't know.
After this episode, maybe not, but
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but out of the OG Zamba, I think Rainier or Amy. That's only two I can see in the.
Well, Amy's my winners pick, right? And she does have like a lot of edit. It's usually positive. She's come off the bottom multiple times already.
And she's a weaker up here. She's just saying, this is too easy. This is too easy. Like, this is not going to be that easy.
Yeah. I can see Santoni winning. It'd be like a David edit from All Stars Australia, but I could see Santoni winning. But I don't think she will. But I could see it as well at the same time. Chappies is definitely not winning. His edit is all over the place. It has no good things happening towards his name. He got sent on a wild goose chase by Smash this episode, which is hilarious. To be honest, waste of time with editing. Shouldn't have been happening.
Yes, I feel it's fun, but I don't think, for me, when I'm watching, I don't feel it's fun.
It makes Smash look good, but this episode, Smash was horrible.
It is horrible. Like, it's not unlikable. It's come off really unlikable, very like.
To be honest, a very good person under the radar is Sean.
He was, but until the tribal, like, do you want to skip over tribal? Do we cover through everything? I think
the only other thing we haven't covered is at the merge feast. There's like a hidden clue that nobody gets, and they show us, and I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna get it, and then they don't get it.
Yeah,
pointless. Why show us it?
No, they can show it, but like, there's multiple times. They show it like 3 or 4 times. It's like, is someone gonna get it? But I'm just like, if you know what's gonna get it, like, at least show it once. But don't show it 3, 4, or 5 times.
Yeah, that's true.
But I was going to like, so we're gonna actually expecting someone find an idol, so sort of kind of link back to the clue, but I think no one find the actual merge idol. So
no, not yet.
And I was expecting they send Chappie to find that they plan a clue for Chappie to find. So I was like, how funny it is that Chappie actually find an idol, because
I thought that too. Imagine if he found it on the pole or something, like near the flag or something like that, and there's like a Nella set him on a wild goose chase.
but obviously they did the right thing. They checked the location before, but I was like,
oh yeah. Could you imagine if he just didn't check?
Yeah, like, I mean, that kind of stupid mistakes can happen because people being cocky. So, but I agree with you. It's a waste of time, especially the Sky Shack was a waste of time.
Yeah,
finding is a waste of time, and
it was like a lot of Chappie is a waste of time. Yeah, it was a lot of Chappies for no reason.
Yeah,
like it didn't equate to anything at all.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's just like, we've got time to fill, and we need to fill it with something. So let's fill it with this, I guess. Like, and it's
we're gonna talk about the challenge, the immunity challenge, where we have everyone dropped out basically, and then we have Enesu, Kieran, and Chappie. Tyson. But then Kieran was telling Enesu
to send Tyson.
Yeah, but then he's like, "I'll let you win," but then is it why? But why did he need to tell Enesu?
To be honest, it's then weird because, like, at the start of this, like, before they go there, you see them like sort of working together, and it's just like, okay, well, somebody's just gonna drop and let this person win and blah blah blah, right? And that's what you think. But then, like, it gets to the point of like, no, they're actually competing, but for what reason? Like, it makes me feel like Enesu actually might not be with them. At that point, it feels like Enesu might not be with them at that point.
But why would Enesu work with them?
With OG and Zamba.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I don't get it either. Like, to me, it's just it's very confusing, to be honest.
Yeah, and
like,
then
the whole interaction.
Yeah, the whole interaction is like, send a text and like, shouldn't you talk to yourself about this? Like, shouldn't you have a discussion who's gonna win it? If that person win it, who they should send? You know, that kind of instead of talking in the challenge, I guess. But anyway, they sent Tyson. At one point, I thought Tyson's gonna stay and to sort of screw it up, but I'm happy that she didn't because they need him to do that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And then obviously, we see how it plays out.
Tyson needed to go back to see what the votes were about.
Yeah,
because he would have went into tribal with no idea at all what was happening, and probably would have misplayed his idol. I reckon he probably would have played his idol for water.
Yeah. Can I also just briefly touch on the girls? They make it the girls make it so obvious.
Oh yeah, they sit next to each other at bloody merge feast and everything.
Yeah, I just feel like, guys, you are playing Survivor, you're not playing the clique.
It's smart for Amy though, because Amy is not the threat out of them, and she knows that, right? So I feel like for some people it's smart. For Marisha, it's not smart at all. Marisha's the biggest girl out of the three, right? So she going first, especially in a merge situation.
And I also Rhaenyra. Why would Rhaenyra want to work with a block of 3? You should at least cut one down eventually. So I think
Rhaenyra always was working with Amy, right? Rhaenyra always had Amy on his side, right? And that was always his number one, and it still is, I believe, to this day.
Yeah, it still is. So it worked out for Rhaenyra that the girls have less power. He shouldn't be too upset because they did him a favor. They did Sean a favor. They did Rhaenyra a favor. To be honest, they didn't. Those two shouldn't be upset about the situation. But
Nicole crying, man.
Because Grisha gave her a jacket, and they've been together forever since. So
Nicole crying was sort of hilarious. And they're like, "Oh, this is the type of girl you vote out," and she's walking away with no jacket on. I'm just like, "Oh, calm down." I'm like, it's a game to start off with. It wouldn't have mattered who went home. Out of your alliance, you still would have been pissed off in the end of the day. Don't be pissed off because she gave her jacket away. And Nicole crying was hilarious. I loved it so much. I'm like, it was such I get a really hero vibe from Tyson, Santoni, and stuff like that, and then a real villains vibe from the old Zamba, with the 3 girls and Rhaenyra and Sean and Anella. It's good. It actually is good, but I do want to see. Look, I wouldn't be mad if Kieran or Tyson went home in a blindside. It'd be a good episode.
No, yeah, I don't know, but I don't really like Rhaenyra. I don't understand his.
I don't like Rhaenyra either. No,
as a player, I feel like he's not. There's not something stand out. It's just I guess. Well, when he did that pause when they play the idol, Nicole gave the idol. I mean, technically, he gave the idol to Nicole, so Nicole can decide who. Basically, Nicole should be the decider, not Rhaenyra, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nicole could have just been I want to give it to Marisha or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, he passed it to Nicole. Nicole take it and play it. So it's Nicole. It's actually Nicole decide, not Rhaenyra decides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
he gave it away.
Yeah, he did pause. He's like. So I think he was he was thinking is it too easy? But I think it's too far gone already. You have Nicole was well, me, obviously.
I'm surprised there wasn't a stray vote from the original, from Tyson's group. I'm surprised they didn't they knew that they knew they were going to nullify the Chappies votes, right? So why not have a stray vote just in case Marisha plays an idol? Have a stray vote for Nicole, just one.
True.
It doesn't actually add anything. It doesn't add anything, right? It's a bigger safety net for yourself, right? They're not going to split the votes for Chappies because they know that Chappies is probably not going to get an idol played for him. However, they're all dumb for thinking that. But they should have been thinking, okay, let's give ourselves a safety net. Let's spread the votes. Maybe let's put 3 votes on Marisha, 1 vote on Nicole. That way we're going to have that vote just in case.
Well, I guess it's hard because when you have 6-5, it's hard to play. How do you split on I don't know. I feel it's a bit of a risk. I understand what you're saying, but it's.
Does it make a risk though? Because if you're all putting your votes, right? So say for example, right, you know that tribe's putting all their votes on this person, right? That's what you know, right? in your head, regardless of what's going to happen, it's still going to be 3-3-3 if it's a split vote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So, well, you could even it could even be 4-3-3-1. So your 4 votes would still beat both of their 3s in their split vote. Plus, you've got that extra vote just in case.
For what though? For is
Well, it's 4-5 in the votes, right? So it's 4. It's 5-6 in the votes. It's 5-6 in the votes. The 6 are splitting their votes 3-3, right? And then you've got 5 votes on the other tribe. They're splitting it 4-1. So that 4 is going to beat any of the 3s regardless. And then you've got the 1 just in case of idols and stuff like that.
But that's assuming they have 2 idols, isn't it?
No, that's just assuming the same thing happens, right? Assuming the same thing happens, they think 6 votes is going on Chappie's. Right? So they're going to nullify Chappie's vote, and then just in case of Marisha playing an idol on herself, you've got that 1 extra vote just in case of a revote. Because if there's a revote, that tribe, that 6 beats your 5.
True. Yeah.
So you sort of need to have that insurance of having an extra vote on someone. Numbers at the start of merge are the biggest thing, right? So putting extra votes on other people also makes sense too. I also think in the first tribal councils as well, having a stray vote on someone, so then they're a target next round, is a good thing as well. Also, nobody knows who's voted for who, right? Because it's the first vote, right? So nobody can tell if the vote's 10-1-1. Then that extra 1 vote is going to change up the game. I know it sounds stupid, but that person's going to become paranoid. Who's coming for me? That type of thing. And then it just has a trickle effect. So I always think having a random vote at any stage in the game is a good thing.
When you have the numbers.
And at merge as well, at this point in the game too, where there's idols in play, having that extra vote, 1 vote can send somebody home if there's 2 idols played.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there should have been a stray vote.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would change about this tribal. I feel like Tyson or Kieran should have had a stray vote on Nicole.
Okay. So before we end this, before we move on to the next segment, so I want to briefly mention Sean getting really upset that Marisha leaving.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about it. I was like, "Why? There's too much emotion for a person that's in the top if you're in the bottom."
Look, it made Sean emotionally attached to the game, which makes me not like him now.
Yeah, I was like, anything you should be happy. You're
still in there. Another person's gone, regardless of if they're in your alliance or not. You're 1 step closer. I couldn't give a rat's ass if all my alliance got voted out. I'm still going further. I'm still in front. Yes, it may be harder for me to get further in the game, but I'm still going further. That's.
And to be honest, he's what I'm gonna say, I forgot. I was not. I was and then it was what are you expecting? You expecting they go willingly? Oh yeah, sorry, let's just not play. I'm really happy to go home. In any situation, that's what that the bottom people should strive off. You should be oh, well done, you guys, well done. I was expecting it. So I was Liz does say, but it's sad because you lose your friends. Coming from the person who brought up their friends,
Liz's motto is vote out your friends. So Liz, I don't think that really applies here.
No.
I think it's hilarious when Nicole starts crying. The villain in me finds that hilarious. If I was there on the day, I'd be like, this is gold. It's pure gold. I made someone cry and survive. It's my dream, But yeah, it made good TV, I guess. But they're so emotionally attached to the game, and it's not how Santoni's not emotionally attached.
You can have the emotion attached, but don't be too vocal, but be this is how you want to play, huh? Don't just be cry, have a little weep, and just move on.
Yeah, this is a great episode. One of the best merge episodes worldwide for sure. I'll always remember this episode. It's very high-end gameplay. It's hilarious and
A
so
lot
much
of
fun.
move. It's obviously showing like the Zamba tribe is playing way behind in terms of strategy. Like
Yeah.
if Remy and Amy think they're playing a good game, like
This game has become so strategically based. I love it. Like a lot of other seasons, are just like, oh, who's going to be the best fit for the tribe still? And it's just like, well, you're a merge, mate. Like it doesn't matter now. Like I wouldn't care if somebody was like eating all the food every night at merge. Like it's the merge. Like voting them out, what's that going to do? Nothing. It doesn't improve your game at all. Yes, it maybe give you a bit more food, but like other than that, like that's not how people should be thinking right now.
No, yeah, I think like in a tribe situation, obviously that sort of thinking is valid because now it's like merge. Like everyone is free to do whatever they want. Like you can form the different alliances. Like that's why I don't feel like you shouldn't stuck to your like the typical alliance. Like always find the different options to explore. That kind of thing. So I'm glad. I mean, it's still OG, like OG versus OG kind of stuff. But I mean, we'll see how the next few episodes go because that's a more critical point when I guess we see people diverge. Hopefully, they do.
There'll be a clear winner, I think, in a couple episodes. I feel like there'll be a person that's just like comes out of the water and is just huge, influential, and becomes like this big powerhouse that's unstoppable. I get that feeling. And it could be Kieran. It really could be Kieran.
True. Hopefully Kieran's added. I mean, I did pick them as a winner pick, so.
Yeah. Well, we both have our winner pick still in, which is good.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, actually, Runa winning this, like, this sort of coming up better in this trouble actually made better because I feel like they're not solidified, like, as with, like, Zamba. Like, you have Santoni, who she's going to flip-flop. You have Anasu, she can flip-flop anytime. And then you only have to tie is Kieran and Tyson. And what is like, I don't know what she
and you got Chappies as well.
Yeah,
like,
and Chappie
this 6, if that 6 makes the final 6, that is going to be like chaos.
But I don't want all them go final 6.
No, I don't want all 6 either. Like to be honest, I wouldn't be mad if we lose like Tyson and Water, and then we're left with like Kieran, Santoni, Chappies, and an SU with like say like Amy and Rainier or Amy and Sean. Like that 6 would be like a great final 6 for me because like everyone is so up in the air with who they're working with, and it's just going to be like this chaos like event of like final 6, final 7 votes, and it's just like you still have no idea who's going to win because it just becomes like a thing of who's going to work best for me at the end. Like, who do I want to take to the end out of this 6? And to be honest, they all have a chance of winning. I can't. This cast can all win. Literally, I don't have like a. Apart from Manila, apart from Smash, apart from Smash, this cast can win. Like everyone can win, apart from Smash.
Yeah, I'm just so happy because I don't want to. If actually Zamba come out like 6 intact, I feel like we're gonna have a pick going. Basically, I feel like that's
literally, that's what we would have got. And now we've got like the mess, like one of the messiest merges I've ever seen in Survivor, and it's going to be like ridiculously cool to watch, and I'm very excited. But I wish I did 2 episodes a week so I could watch it quicker.
Yeah,
I want to watch it now.
But you know why? Because I feel like the bottom people in the Zamba are like Sean and Anella, and they have no agency. They're not that skillful. Whereas you have the top people like Amy and Rainier, they're comfortable with that winning the alliance. So they're not going to do anything crazy because like I'm secure. Like if I write this, I'll go to the end. So I mean, it's sort of I'm happy with the way it turns out. So for future players, just don't go playing as a 6. It's not how it works.
Yeah, to be honest, like if you're stronger in a group of 5, break away from the 5. Make it interesting.
Break away.
Players always make the seasons, right? I've always said players make the seasons, regardless of like what production chooses what happens. The players still have the final say in every single part of the game, 100%, right?
Yeah.
So pagongings have no excuse to happen unless you really just want to play a really loyal, like boring game. Like the players are the final step for every single game of Survivor. So if you are going to play in the future, like a live reality game or an actual season, if you get on, please just make it interesting. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense to stick with the members, but like you have to, if you're bottom, you have to break it out. Like you have to do it. Like it doesn't make sense because if you're on the bottom, you're gonna be in the bottom in that alliance forever if you don't do something else.
Yeah. If you're in an alliance, right, and you're like, there's like 2 or 3 strong people in that alliance, and you're still in that alliance, that means you're on the bottom.
Yeah.
Break away from that. And like, this is what I wish I did in my season, because I knew like I wasn't on like the top of that alliance at all. I knew it was Tara and Nick and Calvin, right, in our season. So I should have easily just said, no, screw this. Let's go do something else. And yeah. So for those. Oh, yes.
Yeah. For those who have tuned out of Survivor SA, do you reckon they should be tuning in again right now? Yes, obviously. Go watch.
I'm surprised anybody has tuned out of SA.
Yeah.
To be honest, from the first episode, it's been great. There has been a couple of lackluster episodes asking for. Of course, you are, Liz. Liz, go watch it now. Watch it now, Liz. You'll love it. It's so good. I can't get enough of it.
Okay, let's move on to our next segment, and then we can end this.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go Kiss.
Okay.
I go first.
So if anybody doesn't know what this is, so in honor
we
of
have to
Sammy,
do this again. We did this how many times?
Yeah, but some people don't know. Okay. In honor of Sammy from season
people
3 of
want-
Backyard Survivor and her jury question of Kiss, Marry, Kill. Who would you like to kiss this episode? Who made you feel good?
Okay, who made me feel good? Anesu, she's my favorite.
Is that a kiss or is that a marry though?
I want to kiss and marry, but I want to kiss Anesu because I think she. Okay, maybe I change it. So for kiss, I feel like Tyson because I feel like obviously he has to play the idol eventually. Like he has to play it, otherwise the prank doesn't work. So he needs to trust in Ella, and so I give him the kiss because he did what he needs to do. He needs to get off the island, and then he needs to give the island idol to Water, and then he has to play the idol to Chappie. So he needs to do all these things. So
yeah. I feel like I could kiss like the whole like Vuna tribe, like Annabelle's suggesting. Like the whole Vuna tribe played this great. Water played it great. Tyson played it great. Kieran played it great. Santoni 007 agent, Stan. And then you've also got Anesu as well, who played it awesome. And Chappies knew that he was on the block, but knew that something was happening. So he just played like he was going home. And all of them had an integral part in getting this blindside to happen. Mm-hmm. However, I feel like the main person in this move was Tyson because of him doing 3 things, which was massive. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I would have to kiss Tyson in this episode as well.
Okay. Mary. I think I want to marry Anesu because I feel like her future is a bit brighter. She played double sides and she can flip flop. If she wants to flip the other Zamba OG, they would not rattle her to like other because they thought she's still with them, so they're not going to tell the other tribe like, oh, Anesu's planning to blindside So like, she's in a great position to play both sides and she can make all the moves she wants.
What do you think about her connection with Water? From the first episode, we see her and Water talking about the yoga connection outside of this, and they actually knew each other. It's scarily, it has never been announced again. They never talked about it again. But do you reckon that has a part in how things will go down the road?
Yes.
It all come full circle.
I don't think Anesu's going to vote out Water anytime soon. And Anesu can joke Water. Like, Water's not going to get the votes. I feel like if I, in the jury, I will vote for Anesu, basically.
Oh, yeah, Anesu is definitely getting the votes against Water. However, Water will get some votes. Water will get votes from, like, Tyson and Kieran, and maybe Santoni.
No, I think Tyson and Kieran are more close with Anesu.
Yeah, I could say that too, actually.
And Water's not getting vote from Smash anytime soon. So.
Oh, no, not at all. No, she burnt that bridge. I guess my Mary. I always say it, but Santoni. Stantoni. Like, I'm a Stantoni. Like, I cannot describe how much this Immunity Islanded like twist has bettered this season. we would have got like a very boring ass bloody vote out of like Teresa and Santoni early on, and it just would have been boring from that point on, and it just would have been like we probably would have got some different moves and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Santoni is like, she's a queen. Like, you can't deny like how well she's playing, even though she does have some bad moves, but she does work out them bad moves and makes them into a positive as well. So I can't fault her, and it's pissed me off because she's playing too perfectly, and I hate it.
I don't think she played perfectly because you see,
but
she made mistakes.
Her downfalls, she's making them positive.
I don't think she's making it positive. I don't think giving the idol to type, like, not finding the idol, it's like, I don't know. Well, we can. I mean, obviously, it turns to a positive thing. So.
It always turns into a positive. Everything that she does bad turns into a positive. And I don't know if it's just like luck based and it's just like, oh, it worked out. But like, she's.
Correction, Liz, is Stantoni. We're not. It's not Stantoni.
We stand her. No, but I can't fault her, and it's pissing me off because I really want to. And like, I just want to find a flaw. Like the moment she has like a big flaw in an episode, she's gone. But I feel like people are still thinking she's a goat, where like, really, she's not.
Well, it's up to her. Like, people's she has to change the perception soon, because otherwise she's not winning.
She will. She'll flip on the original Vuna. I reckon that's going to happen.
She will flip, but she needs to change.
She'll flip, vote out Water, and then Water will be like really jealous, and like, I can see it happening, and then like she's gonna become like this villain, and everyone's gonna hate her, and then like then she'll probably lose because she does a flip. But like, she's playing excellent. Really, I can't fault her. It's pissed me off.
Yeah. I feel like she does need, but I don't think people perceive as a goat, because people think she's flip flop, like she go where the number goes, and is that really?
Yeah, but people see that as a goat.
That's not a goat. It's a goat.
Yeah, but some people see it as a goat though. Like,
no, it's
people
not
have
goat.
perceptions of goats. Like, like, I'm just gonna follow the numbers. That's why they flip flop. And like, every way you say something, you can turn it into like a goat, regardless of what they've done.
I think some people have that goat vibe with them, like, and it's hard to shake it off. When the way you speak and then the way you behave, and people perceive as a goat thing. So sometimes it's hard to change that, I guess.
Like, Santoni probably has a goat vibe because she's not good at challenges.
Yeah,
she's a bit older. Mm-hmm. She's not the fittest. These stuff, like, them things sort of give you like a goat vibe, and it's wrong to look at. Like, people are just stereotyping, and I thought we're in 2021. Like, I thought we'll pass this.
Yeah, I mean, what you said has a valid point, but I do feel like some people, when they speak, that you kind of like, like this empty there. Some kids, interaction-wise, I mean, like, we're not talking about like the physicality, we're not talking about the age, we're talking about like the way people behave sometimes. So you can be like, they don't have a clue what's going on. So like, that's when sort of your speech and your behavior does play a role. Like, if let's just put an example, like Devin from the HHH.
Yeah.
Like, people see him as a goat because the surfer vibe. Like he's young, he's a male, he's strong, but like, people perceive that, like, because he's like that sort of laid back, and people just assume he's a goat because
Yeah, I guess it's just the person, right? If they're not really engaging in conversations that much, but like Santoni is, so I'm still confused on that. If they're just not engaging in conversations, they're happy just to follow what's happening, then people can straight away perceive them as a goat. But like, it really just becomes down to like people's perception.
Yeah, sure.
And the edit is giving probably us a different perception of what the hell.
I don't see her as a goat. Like, I don't
see her as a goat either. But like, that's our perception, right? That's what the editors are giving us. So editors are literally making us believe that Santoni's not a goat, but technically she might even be one.
Sure. Well, it comes down to how she behaved in an album, basically. Okay, let's quickly move on to Kill. You go.
Look, Smash. It's pretty obvious. Oh, you know what? You know who else? Can I kill two people? I'll be doing this a favor.
I want to kill Sean. So like, if you
I want to kill Marisha too.
Okay, kill Marisha, go.
Yeah, okay. Marisha, you do not go and tell somebody that, oh, you'll last 4 more tribal cancels. 4 more tribal cancels you'll last. What?
You're not
What?
doing a favor. I feel like, oh yeah, I'm just giving you the chance. Like, you're not giving me a chance. You just telling me I'm going home soon.
Nothing at all. Like, what are you giving them? And especially somebody like Santoni, who's not going to win challenges as well, right? So you're giving this person just like no hope whatsoever. It's just like, why would I trust you if you're going to vote me out in 4 times? Like, she's literally saying, I'm going to vote you out in 4 tribal councils. Why? Like, why would you tell somebody that? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. They've never met because they've never been on the same tribe as well, right? It's the first time they've met. Marisha's a big burly girl, right? So she's like going to smash anybody in challenges, right? And she's telling them, you're going to last 4 more tribal councils because I said so. Like, what?
And she phrased it like a compliment, like, oh, like, it's come with us. I'm going to keep.
And then she said something else later in this episode as well. So it's just like so cocky. And it's just like, I've never seen this side of Marisha at all. It's just like, was she always like this and we've just like never seen it?
No, I feel like she's probably like the power just got through her head. Like, when you're in that secure 3 out of the 6, I mean, you're in a really powerful position. So, and then she's
a drunk viber.
Yeah, and then she's in that alliance. Like, she's been with Nicole the whole time. Obviously, she feels safe. And that's when she comes to merge, she just forgot that like you're playing a individual game. You're not playing the 3 or 6 game anymore. You're playing everyone's okay, and then Sean, because I mentioned before in the trouble that he gave up to like that emotional vibe, like you don't need to be aggressive, you don't need to say anything, just quietly cry. And and you can be upset, but you don't have to tell like everyone like, oh, this is how you want to play the game. Like, what do you like this? We are playing the game.
Yeah. It's
I have to do that. I have to. Otherwise I'm going home. So what do you expect me to do?
It does my head in. Like, I'm just
They just don't see other perspective. They're like, oh, I'm winning. Why you don't let me win?
Yeah.
That kind of vibe. I was like, but everyone come here to win. So it's not just you trying to win. Like, I mean, you can be upset and you'd be like, oh shit, like, but don't voice it out. They'd be like, oh my God, like you guys like ruining my chances to win. That's really cocky way to think. And then he's not winning in that 6 anyway. That you're going home. Like, if down to 6, you're going home.
Yeah.
You're not in the 4. You're not in the top 3. You're not in the top 4.
It's a good laugh. Literally, I have a laugh about how some of these people, like, they perceive they're in a really strong spot, just had a huge downfall this episode, and there's multiple of them.
Oh my God! Is this like the Australian 2016 when like Matt Tar, the magician guy with with Flick and the whole group, and then you just have this mindset that like, oh, ride the wave, I have the number right to the end, I mean, it worked out for them. I guess if Zampa wins, it would be like the same with like 2016 Strong Survivor. Like, they all stay together, they're gonna vote everyone out, and then someone flip, then they go crazy. They're like,
yeah. That's what we're gonna get. I can see that actually now.
Yeah, but we're not. Thank God.
No, we're not gonna get that from this episode. We're not gonna get that from this season. This season, I literally, if you've never watched Survivor, don't watch this first because it's gonna be way too confusing. Watch this like 3rd or 4th, and you'll understand how great this is. Watch like Heroes vs. Villains, and then watch this, and then watch Kagayan. Like, watch them 3, and then, to be honest, this is nearly up there with them. It's scary how good it is.
I think this is one of the best match tribal with like with Heroes vs. Villains or with Kagayan.
Yeah.
What else? What else merge tribal that's really interesting? I think it's
when is it War?
We're going home to winners of War. I mean, I don't even remember, so that's not really iconic.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
What's it like? Wendell? Is it Wendell?
Yeah, Wendell. Actually, that's not really iconic.
Yeah, it's not really iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. You think the winners would put on a show for us, but anyway.
I mean, it depends on the channel. Like when you have that, I mean, sometimes I feel like it's good to have that sort of 6-6, like have the equal numbers going. Then you do like the it's like David versus Goliath when there's not a 6-6, but they have like minority when they come up different moves to trying to combat that issues. So it's good to have like that group mentality, but obviously don't drag it out. Like it's nice to have like the minority want to have outcome happens on the majority tribe. So it's kind of like a good thing to see.
Yeah.
Even though we said like don't stick to one group, but
yeah. So I'm just hearing a random buzzing in my room. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I think we're done. Yeah. Like I don't think there's much else to talk about.
no.
I am looking so forward to next week's episode. I am like, I want to watch it now. I somehow want to break into the South African studios and steal the episode and just release it early for everyone because we all deserve it. I am so ready. I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Also, Australian Survivor has actually been great as well. So if you're enjoying South Africa, you should also tune into Australian Survivor. Like, make past the episode 1, and I think Australian Survivor is different. It's like those 3 episodes is like one sort of episode each. I see, like it's like the introduction week. So don't get turned off. Just continue watching. That's really great. I love it. And
we're going to get better episodes of Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
Don't tune out of it straight away because if you do, you're going to miss out. Then you're going to watch it back and it's not going to be as hype as watching it real time, which to be honest, I think most seasons are hype watching it real time because you can sort of dissect every episode afterwards instead of watching back to back to back to back, which can get quite boring for a lot of the older episodes, for a lot of the older seasons.
Yeah, you get tuned out. Like you just get tuned out. You're like, But I'm also hoping that we can see a live Australian one, live variety games coming out soon. Hopefully, those 3 major ones, like please fast, edit quickly, please.
Yes. Well, I know one's currently being pretty well edited already by looks of things. Survivor Canberra. Looks like it's going up really quickly. So listen out and watch out for that one. That's going to be great. I know a lot of people on there. So hello, Survivor Canberrans.
We can do a brutal assessment. Like basically, we can go really.
Oh yes. I'm doing a roast.
I don't give a shit about you're my friend. I can roast you.
Yeah, I love a roast assessment. And Survivor Backyard Survivor in Perth, ran by 2 of the most gorgeous guys. I love them. Kyle and Brian, if you're watching, hello. That will be coming out soon. Looking forward to one day getting across to actually be there for one. If you want to, take the application like this, that's great. And Survivor Melbourne, which actually me and Vince are co-producers on, I guess, if that's what you want to call us. Co-organizers or whatever word.
I mean, there's actually on the title on the library games.
Yeah, look, it is. We are co-producers, I guess. So if you like that word, we'll use it.
Okay, the trial. Just quickly mention about the.
Trial. So we do have a trial happening on the 21st of August. However, with COVID restrictions, I might have to look at pushing that back a couple of weeks. I'll have a look.
Just wait until.
Yeah, if we find out in a couple of days that COVID we're not in lockdown anymore, which is very likely because of how well the COVID case is going at the moment. We probably will try and keep that date. But we'll find out on Tuesday, I guess. Anyway, you can go to the Melbourne Survivor page, and on the Melbourne Survivor page, there should be a link there, and you should be able to apply to be a part of that game. Now, the idea of it is to fundraise money for season 4 of Melbourne Survivor. We're currently in post-production of Melbourne Survivor season 3, which means we're already looking at the editing stage and stuff like that at the moment, which is fun, exciting. But yeah, look into it. Melbourne Survivor is great. It's how me and Vince became friends. Yeah. I don't regret anything at all.
No, I wouldn't. And pre-production, we're actually on pre-production of season 4 as well.
Yeah.
Keep an eye for any application coming out. And Canberra Survivor also.
Canberra Survivor. I'm looking for applications for season 2, even though season 1 hasn't came out yet. Give it a go. Oh. I heard it was good. I've heard good things. I know one of the organizers. So yeah. Give it a watch. Give it a watch when it comes out. Apply for the second season. If you're in Canberra, offer your help because crew is definitely needed in all of these seasons. It's very hard to get crew.
What Sydney people should apply. Like, why I don't?
Yeah.
Why do Sydney people don't apply? Like, I mean,
I don't know.
hello?
I don't think anybody in Sydney. There's no real like live reality game in Sydney, and to be honest, it's the
what?
biggest country. It's the biggest city in Australia.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't
if you're
get
in
it.
Sydney, just make one. If you've always wanted to make one, just do it. There is so many people around the country that would help you out with anything that you needed to know, like where to organize buffs from, or like location, what you need to get, like insurance and stuff like that. Challenges, like there are people in the org community that, like in the live reality games community, that just want to help.
Oh, can you like Sydney has so many like beaches that they have like better location than us. They have like better weather. Like I don't get why they don't do it. Well, like Melbourne can do it and Canberra can do it. Then I don't get why Sydney can't.
Sydney should be looking at it now. They're in lockdown. Like if you're bored in lockdown in Sydney, have a look at running one. To be honest, you'll get so many applications. You'll get so many hands wanting to help. You'll love it. Like play it in the Blue Mountains or something.
Yeah, no, they have Blue Mountains. They have the forest. They have the beach, and I don't know. They can like even go down to like wherever, like I don't know, like
Go down to Orange.
Huh?
Orange or Newcastle. Or
or Wollongong, or like even like Central Coast, or so many options.
Yeah, I'm actually just surprised that nobody in Sydney, seeing the fact that Canberra's out. Like Canberra, that's actually a small city, right? There's people there doing it. You've got people in Perth doing it, people in Melbourne doing it now. I'm assuming we'll get an Adelaide one soon and a Brisbane one soon.
Ooh, don't know.
You never know, but like, do it. Why not? Like, organize a fundraiser so you don't have to pay anything. Like, it is hard. I get it. I understand. Like the money side of thing is like one of the hardest things. Hence why us at Melbourne Survivor, we run a lot of fundraising events. And it might be like an online game. There's actually one running tonight.
Want to advertise that? So is it too late, or you think?
Yeah, it is tonight. Yeah, it's tonight.
I mean, is it too late to advertise it? Like if you're watching?
No, it's not. It's not too late.
So just get it away.
We'll accept anyone. Yeah.
Where you can find the details?
Yeah, so find me on Facebook. Josh PD67 is my like tag thing at the end of that. You can also find Annabelle. Annabelle was on our podcast 2 weeks ago, and she was one of the people that is actually helping organize it too. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. Hopefully to see you guys next week. Go watch Survivor South Australia. Africa. If you're not watching, if you do listen to it and you're not haven't watched it, go watch it now. And the Australian one.
Yep.
All right.
Watch Survivor South Africa and Survivor Australia. They're both doing really well at the moment. I'm looking forward, to be honest, I'm looking more forward to South African Survivor than Australian at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm hoping the Australian one gets better, but I'm pretty sure it will. So everybody watch. JLP's always said that there's an amazing blindside happening soon. So have a tune in, watch that. Team Brains, screw the brawn. Yeah, that's me. That's it.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.